All right, guys, welcome back. We have lots of stuff to go over today, from the next game prices being $80. 2K is saying that they may very well be. GTA 4 could be coming back with a remaster or remake or whatever. I think that would be amazing to see that one come back. I really enjoyed GTA 4. Some Tony Hawk news, SteamOS news, and some other things here to go over in terms of a PlayStation 5 console exclusive that looks like it is no more exclusive. But before we do jump into it, if you do enjoy a daily gaming news every single day, make sure to hit the subscribe, share, all that stuff. Many of you who watch, I see, are not subscribed, so I would appreciate it if you did hit the subscribe button. But for now, let's jump into it. So we're going to start off here talking about game development and the future of game prices. Obviously, we are seeing video games go up in prices. Nintendo with the Switch 2 kind of set that precedent with the Mario Kart World being $80, and their first party games, I think going forward, a lot of them will be at that price. We then saw Xbox announce their price raises, and in the fall, I believe, first party Xbox games are going to be $80 as well. I think when you look at both of those companies and their strategies, they are completely different. You look at Nintendo, they know they have a stranglehold with their IPs that people will actually go out and buy. The $80, and their profit margins are going to expand because I don't believe it costs nearly as much to develop a Nintendo first party game versus developing an Xbox first party game, just kind of the sheer depth of those games, the graphics, all of that. I love Nintendo games. It doesn't really matter how much it costs to develop the games. If they're fun and they're good, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So Nintendo has a very good strategy in that sense. I think from Xbox's side of things, they're putting games on multiple different platforms, and they are going to get people from PlayStation and from PC spending more money on their games. But I think when they're looking at it from the $80 price point and the Xbox ecosystem, it'll probably push a lot of people into subscribing to Game Pass, which I think at the end of the day is what they want more than anything, just to get people in their ecosystem that way. So two different strategies, but the prices are going up, and it looks like 2K, they may be raising their prices for their next big games. There is this article here saying that 2K Studio says the next game might be $80 due to doubled development budget. And here is what exactly what they say. This was at PAX East, and Randy Pitchford was asked about the price of Borderlands 4 and whether they or publisher 2K were considering raising its price above the now $70 standard. And he says, "We're going to have a price set soon. It might be the new price for that Nintendo and Microsoft had led with. It might be that way we stay back. It's going to be the people at the publishing house that decide that. We'll know soon. I think it's going to be fine, whatever the price is. It's worth it." And then goes on here to say, "It's an interesting time. On one level, we've got a competitive marketplace where people who make pricing choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive. So there are some folks who don't want to see prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There are folks just accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing, and there are tariffs for the retail packaging. It's getting gnarly out there." So he talks about that, and basically thinking here that there could be a chance that their next big game will be going up in price to the $80 price point. Will Borderlands 4 be $80 when that thing does release? How much would that hinder the amount of sales that it does get? I wonder if more third parties start increasing their price, how much it will have an effect on their sales, if it will have a major effect at all. Will $10 really stop people who like to go out there, want to be the first to play and buy a game, always get that FOMO that affects them, and they see other people on social media, see their friends playing it? Will they be able to control themselves with $80 price points? I feel like more people eventually will end up being able to do it. The reality is, in today's gaming world, it is kind of silly to buy games day one. I mean, I do it. I'm kind of being hypocritical here. I do it sometimes. Well, I do have Game Pass. I play a lot of my games Game Pass, which has saved me a ton of money, but I also buy collector's editions and stuff. I like having the statues. Like, I just unboxed the Doom collector's edition. But the reality is, day one games at $80 is kind of silly because the games do drop in price. Not Nintendo games necessarily, but most third-party games, most Xbox games, PlayStation games, they drop in price, and you can pick a lot of them up secondhand. There's also so many games out there with back catalogs, with a story we're going to talk about later, Humble Bundle and stuff, there are so many ways to play games that picking up a single game for $80, unless it's the only game you're playing, it kind of is silly. And I guess it also depends on the style of gamer you are. Like if it's the only one you're playing all year, I mean, go ahead, day one. But if you have a ton of games to play, I wonder if the $80 price tag will now start pushing people to start really thinking about their purchasing decisions when new games do come out, and if they'll just wait until the prices do drop on them. We will see. It's going to be interesting to see how everything is going forward, but the industry has pushed it to this place because of rising development costs, and they need to keep their profit margins. The corporations and the executives don't want to take salary cuts or anything like that. So what they're going to do is they're going to just keep raising the price. We saw Claire Expedition 33 come out, a game that was $50 from an indie studio. There was no bloat in that game whatsoever. It was phenomenal. I think it is game of the year, and I would love to see more studios kind of getting back to creating games with less bloat and just giving us the amazing experiences. So we'll be interested to see the price of Borderlands 4 and how many third party publishers decide to raise the prices of their games. All right, let's talk Valve, SteamOS, and handheld gaming, because I think next generation is going to be the handheld console wars. The console wars are over pretty much, but we could be opening up a new avenue here of console wars, which is going to be handheld gaming. I think PlayStation is going to have a handheld. Xbox is going to have multiple handhelds, whether that's from third parties or the ones that they create themselves. Steam has handhelds, and then you have all of the other PC handles, all of those things. And there is going to be a race here to sell as many of these units as possible. I think Steam and SteamOS have the biggest advantage simply because they have that whole PC market and they have a great operating system. And I think Xbox needs to kind of move it along here and get their Xbox operating system for handhelds up and running and potentially on multiple different handhelds so people can experience it and then be locked into their Xbox ecosystem if they want to be. And if that's what the goals of Xbox are here, which is to get people into their ecosystem, they're falling behind Steam. They are far behind SteamOS, in my opinion, and it's getting even a bigger separation here as Valve is revealing the new SteamOS compatibility system for non-Steam decks like the Lenovo Legion Go S. They say here that 18,000 plus titles expected out of the game, and this is very cool. It's great that you're going to be able to just use this across multiple different devices. I love SteamOS. I think it's great, especially on the handhelds. That's why I liked my Steam Deck when I did have it far better than my PC handhelds. But it says here that the Lenovo Legion Go S SteamOS is set to release on May 25th, 2025, and will be the very first non-Valve device to officially launch with SteamOS already installed on it. And ahead of this release, Valve has revealed a new SteamOS compatibility system, which will be in place for devices like Lenovo's that run SteamOS but aren't a Steam Deck. So they say here you can think of it kind of like the Steam Deck verification for SteamOS hardware. And the goal of the system is to assist gamers in better understanding which games will run well on their compatible SteamOS gaming machines. So they are preparing here for far more devices to be able to have SteamOS installed on it. And I think the Lenovo Legion Go S is just the beginning. I think we're going to be getting a lot of handhelds by third-party manufacturers that use it, as well as obviously a Steam Deck 2 and stuff. And that is going to be very enticing for a lot of people. They say there are over 18,000 titles that are expected to be marked as SteamOS compatible. And they go on here to say, as an example of what this will look like, Valve posted a screenshot that reads, our testing indicates that Portal 2 is compatible with devices running SteamOS. Based on Steam Deck compatibility results, your experience in terms of performance and input may vary depending on your hardware. And that's what they have here. I mean, that's kind of the thing that does pop up here. So this is going to be cool to watch. This is what Xbox is, I think, is going to do as well. I think if you look at SteamOS and what Steam Deck is doing, and you're trying to determine what you think Xbox is going to do, especially with their next generation, it's going to be stuff like this. There's going to be multiple devices out there that are running Xbox, running the Xbox OS, like the Asus one that got leaked. And I think there's going to be other manufacturers as well that have it. And then the big question is, because this really has not fully been confirmed, I guess you could kind of say, and I think it is going to happen for sure, but will Xbox in-house make their own hardware, their own handheld that is the most optimized and the best version of this? And I think they will, which will be huge for getting your console games onto your handheld as well. So interesting times here. I think the next gen is the handheld console wars. All right, Grand Theft Auto 6 looks phenomenal. We're going to wait here until May 2026 to play it. But it looks like there could be some more Grand Theft Auto coming, and I think this would be a very smart move, and this would sell like crazy. GTA 4 Remaster could be dropping later this year. Now, this is according to a leaker. This is just a rumor, so take this with a big grain of salt. But they say here that Tez 2 is the go-to for almost all Rockstar-related gaming news and leaks. And from getting the insight into weekly GTA Online updates to full-blown rumors about GTA, Red Dead Redemption, and more, Tez 2 is the one. So they're saying very reputable leak here. So I guess you could take this maybe with a bigger grain of salt or a smaller grain of salt, however that would work. More validity to it, I guess you would say. But they say here that someone at R hinted at the 4 port, and by now it should have gone up a year in development. We may end up seeing it drop later this year, and Tez 2 believes the remaster is why the much-used LCPP mod was taken down. And they also say the port is used in this game that was first released 17 years ago, and a release on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S makes it a remaster by default, as the graphics would need to be updated and refined to accommodate 2 generations worth of technological advancements. The other crazy thing here, which is I would love to see this as well, is that Max Payne 3 port could be happening after GTA 4. Tez 2 says they'll do an MP3 port after Grand Theft Auto 4. So that would be crazy, in my opinion. They delayed GTA 6 till 2026, but they have a backup plan to release something this year that's massive, which would be a GTA 4 remaster. I think that would be a very good move, and I would love to see GTA 4 remastered and come back on the current generation of consoles. It would look great. So very exciting stuff here. It would be an insane year if this did get dropped. And again, Max Payne 3 2 would be very, very cool. Another game that is coming out is the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster, which the first 2 were phenomenal. This one is going to be just as good, if not better. But people want Tony Hawk's Underground. They want that game remastered, and I'm all for that as well. Well, Tony Hawk here kind of commented on whether this would happen. It says Tony Hawk will campaign all he can for a remaster of Tony Hawk's Underground. Specifically, this was speaking at a preview event for the upcoming game. He was asked about the potential for remakes of games beyond the original 4 Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. And he says, I always have aspirations. It's not up to me generally. I'll campaign all I can, but I'm working with a much bigger company that's a lot smarter than me. So he's out there. He is going to try to get these games made. I think it would be very smart. And I think a lot of this will be based on how well 3 and 4 do sell. I feel like 1 and 2 did pretty good. 3 and 4, I think, will sell very well. Underground, I think, would sell well as well. So if that is the case, we may be seeing this. And Tony Hawk has already done some campaigning. Like Bam Margera was not in the game, and there was a story out there that he made sure that they redid some of the capturing and stuff to put him into the game for the upcoming remasters of 3 and 4. So he probably has a decent amount of power to get these done, but I think at the end of the day, it's all going to depend on how well this latest remaster does sell. If it sells very well, I'm sure we will be seeing more Tony Hawk games in the future. Okay, let's jump over here to 3 more things here. So Stellar Blade, if you've been waiting to play this game, if you don't have a PlayStation 5 and you've been waiting to play this game on PC, which will probably be the definitive experience of it, it's coming to PC and with new features in June. This is according to a leaked trailer. I think this trailer was put up on the PlayStation channel, so it is basically confirmed, but then they took it down. This comes here from Kami on X saying Stellar Blade PC trailer was posted early on the official PlayStation YouTube channel. And here's everything that you need to know about it, what's coming with in addition with this game. First of all, it's releasing on June 11th on Steam and the Epic Game Store. There will be 25 new costumes, a new boss battle, higher resolution textures, DLSS 4 and FSR 3, Japanese and Chinese voiceover, multi-frame generation, unlocked frame rate, ultra-wide support, DualSense support, pre-order outfits, and more. So these are all the things that were shown off on the trailer. They put it up there and then they took it down. And of course, when that happens, the internet will not miss. They will capture it right away and they will show it off for everybody to see. So you can go check it out. The link of this tweet will be in the description if you want to watch it yourself. But it looks like it is coming here to PC. There's another console exclusive where that console exclusivity has ended, now coming to another platform. And this, again, will be great for PC gamers who want to check it out, and more than likely the best way to play this game. Intergalactic, the next game from Naughty Dog. When it was shown off, it was met with very mixed reactions. I think the game looks cool, but then you also had another side of gaming that looks at the character and doesn't like the way that the character looks, and they were kind of complaining about that. Well, Neil Druckmann here apparently is coaching for overcoming online harassment based off of this game. This is what the intergalactic actor does reveal. This is Tati Gabriel, who plays Jordan, the protagonist of Naughty Dog's next game, and specifically was saying this. She told EW, saying, Neil's been boot camping me. I know Troy's experience. I know Ashley's experience. I know Laura Bailey's experience. I got a lot of love, but there was a lot of hate over me being a woman, me being a woman of color, me having my head shaved, all these things that I didn't even actually initially see. I'm out of the social media zeitgeist for that reason, but once I did, Neil was like, ignore it no matter what. Me and you were going to make something beautiful. We're going to make something that we are proud of. We don't know when this one is coming out yet. I don't believe, but this, I thought the trailer looked cool. I thought the trailer looked fine. There was outrage. I mean, there was the whole thing about the character, and that will continue. There probably will be one of those campaigns against this game, as we've seen with almost every game that gets released now. You have a certain section of the gaming community. They all just go out there and to say the same things and make the same videos, and it kind of ridiculous at this point. It's annoying in the sense that if the game is good, the game is good. It doesn't really matter the characters in the game. If there's real criticisms about the game, this is what we kind of talked about yesterday with the whole review bombing thing that Moon Studios and Thomas Mulder were talking about. Like, if there are true criticisms about the game mechanics, the fun, the gameplay, and all of that, and people are putting lots of negativity towards the game, that is justified. But when their complaints are basically about the way a character looks, and most people who are making these complaints have never played the game, that's where these things do get ridiculous. So we'll see how big of an effect this has on Intergalactic. And finally, this is just something I want to bring up because I think this is pretty wild and pretty cool if you like these games. They're older games, but Humble Bundle is selling $214 of Xbox Game Studio titles for $10. Humble Bundle is great. And as I mentioned, there's so many ways to play video games. This is another way. If you want just a large catalog of games and you like to try different things, Humble Bundle is phenomenal for that. But Wasteland 3, Quantum Break, As Dusk Falls, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Age of Empires Definitive Edition, Broken Age, Sunset Overdrive, and Battletoads are all up there with the Xbox Game Studios Humble Bundle. I believe the lowest tier is $10 or something to get them all, something along those lines. So yeah, tons of games here in an awesome Humble Bundle. I purchased it, and I think it was like $14 Canadian for all of those games. Now they're in my library, and I'm happy about that. But I will end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.